Paramilitary training, as seen in this propaganda video, is what the Russian Imperial Movement offers to white supremacists and neo-Nazis, according to the U.S. State Department, which in June sanctioned 3 more men linked to the Russia-based terrorist group.
They have sort of an interesting relationship with the Russian government in that at times their symbols and some of their propaganda have been banned, and yet at the same time, they're allowed to function. They're allowed to bring like-minded neo-Nazis from other parts of the world.
As long as they don't dare destabilize President Vladimir Putin's rule inside Russia, radical groups serve the Kremlin's interests, analysts say, by sowing discord and inciting racial and ethnic unrest in Western democracies.
There's a lot of training of terrorism manuals. Lately is this idea of the Great Replacement. This is what motivated the Buffalo, New York shooter, this idea that white people are being intentionally replaced with people of color in various nations.
When neo-Nazis and white supremacists can't come together in person, they interact using internet platforms that aren't always moderated. And Moscow, according to researchers, amplifies their voices.
With the use of internet, they can take their message and spread it to billions of people via bots and trolls. Russia is extremely involved in creating media outlets that will kind of reaffirm and push these exact, disinformation talking points.
И денацификации Украины.
In this context, President Putin's widely disputed claim that Russia invaded Ukraine to denazify its neighbor is seen as disinformation.
To refer to Ukrainian self-identification, political self-identification, as just nationalist would be weak. This rhetoric is addressed to Russian citizens because in Russia, after Second World War, the word Nazism is extremely negative. So if you blame your opponents or your enemies, this word, it may explain why you may or must take radical measures.
The Azov regiment that has repelled Russia's forces since 2014 is often cited by Russia as a neo-Nazi force. But rights groups and Ukrainian officials say that reputation is outdated and manipulated for Kremlin propaganda.
There have been a lot of efforts to kind of reform the movement and to push out any individuals who do hold on to these kind of far-right beliefs.
Instead, the eyes should be on Russia's own cozy relationship with white supremacism, according to expert Heidi Beirich.
Neo-Nazism, various kinds of white supremacy, are the #1 domestic terrorism threat in the United States and multiple other countries. If the Putin regime were down the road to provide money and material to white supremacists, we will see more attacks and more effective attacks.
We sent repeated requests to Russian authorities for comment, but never heard back. Verónica Valderas Iglesias for VOA News, Washington.